Next example, solve the equation 10 minus 3x minus x squared is equal to 0. Option A, x is equal to 2 or minus 5. Option B, x is equal to minus 2 or minus 5. Option C, x is equal to minus 1 or 10. Option D, x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 5. Remember, I recommend this method of solving quadratic equation used by factorization method, where you multiply the first term and the last term, right? So this, you can just take this as our first and this as our last, and we just multiply them together, rather than the other method where you just go and look for the product of this, the two numbers which are going to multiply together, that's going to give you this, and sum them, that will give you the b, which is minus 3. So let's move on. So now let's move on now. So we have this solution. So we have 10 minus 3x minus x squared is equal to 0. So we just say we multiply the first and the last term. Our first term is 10 and our last term is x squared. Just look like this question has been turned the other way around. So we say 10 multiplied by x squared, which will give us 10x squared. So we look for two numbers which will multiply them together. That's going to give us 10x squared, and when we sum them together, we're going to have minus 3. So what are the two numbers that are going to give us 10x squared? So let's say we have 2x multiplied by 5x. We say plus 2x multiplied by plus 5x. Remember, you take note of your sign. So if we multiply this together, 2x times 5 is 10x. 10x. So we have 2x plus 5x. So we have 7x. So you can take minus 5x and 5x. So with a question like this, if you keep moving that way, we are going to arrive at nowhere. So what we do first, when you have a question like this, you first of all rearrange the equation. You do what? You rearrange the equation. So to rearrange this, we say we have minus x square. You just rearrange it, then minus bx plus 10 is equal to 0. So I just rewrite this equation, right? So then the next thing I do, I simplify it. So to simplify this, I will just say you just multiply. You multiply through, you multiply through by a negative sign. So we want to multiply this whole equation by a negative sign. So we just say minus bracket minus x square, close the bracket, minus bracket minus 3x, close the bracket, minus multiply by plus 10, close the bracket. Then our minus sign is always still multiplying our negative sign. So minus times this, minus times minus, minus times minus, x is going to give us positive. So we have x squared, minus times minus 3 is going to give us positive. So we have plus 3x, minus times plus 10 is going to give us negative 10. So we have minus 10, minus times 0 is going to give us 0. So now we have simplified the equation. So after simplifying this equation, then you can now proceed to solving. Then you can now multiply your first term and your second term, and then you now find the two numbers when you multiply them together, they're going to give you the product of your first term and second term, and when you sum them together, they're going to give you your middle term, which is 3. So let's do that now. So we say x squared multiplied by minus 10 is going to give us minus 10x squared. So we now have minus 10x square. So what two numbers will you multiply together that's going to give you? Now what's two numbers? So let's say minus, this is x square. We say minus 2x multiplied by plus 5x. This is going to give us minus 10x square, right? So if we sum this, we say minus 2x plus 5x. This is going to give us minus 2 times minus 2 plus 5 is going to give us plus 3x. So we can make use of this. So what we do, we just use this to replace what's in the middle here. So then we now have x square minus 2x plus 5x minus 10 is equal to 0. So having that, what do? We just put them in a bracket. We have bracket x square minus 2x, close our bracket, plus open another bracket 5x minus 10, close the bracket, all equal to 0. So having that, what do we do now? So we just take one bracket, look for what is common, and factorize it out. So looking at this bracket, what do you think is common? I will save x. So I bring out my x and the bracket. So I then have x minus 2. I close my bracket. X times x is going to give me x squared. X times minus 2 is going to give me minus 2x. So my positive sign, I bring down my positive sign. Then I take this bracket. What's common here? I will take out my 5. Then I'll have my x minus 2. I close my bracket, all equal to 0. 5 times x is going to give me 5x. 5 times minus 2 is going to give me minus 10. Likewise, as I said, when solving quadratic equation by factorization method, your two brackets are supposed to be the same for you to know you're working right. So the next thing we do, we just pick this and pick this, put it in a bracket. We have x plus 5. We close our bracket. Then we'll pick one of these since they are the same. X minus 2. So I believe I've said why we should pick one of these, all equal to 0. We pick one of these because if we open this bracket, we are going to have this. So that's why we just pick one of these. So then now we now have either x plus 5 is equal to 0 or x minus 2 is equal to 0. So our 5, we cross it to this side. If we cross 5 to that side, we have x is equal to minus 5, or our minus 2, if we cross it to this side, we have x is equal to plus 2. So we just write 2. Minus crossing our equality sign becomes positive. So this is what we have. So let's see if we have that in the equation. So let's see. This is more like a rough work. So do we have x is equal to 2 or x is equal to minus 5? So that is option A. X is equal to 2 or x is equal to minus 5. So please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. And please don't forget to drop your comment in the comment section.